Your volume,
your mic is on mute. No, I think because Felicia is.
Okay, great.
Oh, they're together.
No, they're not together. Dr. Kadri is sleeping. Maybe there's somebody beside her.
Yeah,
No,
somebody
okay,
is beside me helping me with some stuff there.
Oh, okay. Hi.
I think you're signing twice, Dr. Kadri.
Yeah, that's why I thought Annie was here before. Then
yeah, this is Annie. There are two Dr. Kadri on the screen here.
Can you see me now?
I can see you.
Is it clear?
Yes. Clear.
Okay.
Yeah, it's clear.
So let's.
Is perfect.
Yeah, you can. Can you try sharing your screen, your slides?
Okay.
Just to try it to see we have it covered. Yes, we're good.
Awesome.
Okay.
So you can pick it up now while we wait for people to join.
Up, down. Oh, you want?
Yeah, let's use this one. Yeah, you can share it. Thank you.
Can you see it? Can you see the slide?
Yeah, you can see it.
You can see it. You can see it.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Yeah. Can we all right.
Yeah, yes.
Can someone stream the order of the day? No, the order of the day, so I can know. I need to know like the who is starting first and.
Okay, I shared that to everyone.
We'll see. We see. Oh, okay. Look, can I use your? Yeah. All right. What's the time?
I'm signing out the takeover. I wish you guys the best. So when we start, the Kadri, the young man with you is Elis trained, so we might need to shift a little bit further. Okay, so I just said that so that at least when we're starting, we'll let you know. But I just wanted to just point out to you. There was somebody within. Okay.
Let's Peexoo. Storytelling photojournalism. Okay.
Everybody,
Hi, Annie.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Also. All right. Let's start. So kick off the show, please. Hi, Annie.
All right, so you guys are welcome to Peexoo's virtual conference. Today we have Dr. Kehinde Kadiri that speaking to us today, and I'm just going to read out a brief bio on her. So she's an accomplished academic, a seasoned scholar, and a teacher of mass communication. Who has a deep passion for health communication, digital marketing, advertising, humanitarianism, and photography. Now, she believes photography can be used to set new world agenda, change narratives, and enlighten people on how to make the world a better place. Now, Dr. Kehinde sets up an NGO. It's called the Grassroots AIDS Initiative, on which platform she used her digital storytelling and skills and photography to change the narrative of people in different rural communities across 5 states, including Ogun, Oyo, Osun, Kwara, and Lagos State. Now, her NGO focuses on improving lives of undeserved people in rural areas. She's a well-deserving recipient of several prestigious awards and both national and international recognition of her in consistent support towards growth and development of the grassroots in particular, and humanity in general. So I welcome Dr. Kehinde Kadiri, to put us through storytelling in photojournalism. Welcome,
hello.
Dr.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Ma.
Nice to be here.
Yeah.
Okay. So can I start now?
Please, take it up.
Hello?
I said, please go ahead.
Okay. Okay, good morning, everybody. I am here to talk about storytelling in photojournalism. So I'll be talking about how pictures can be used to make compelling stories. So I will be starting with photography. And I believe everybody already know what is photography. We all know what photography is all about. Photography is more or less like telling stories. Photography photography means different things to different people. And for some people like me, I see photography as an art that can be used to ventilate thoughts and emotions to the outside world. And also, it is also a tool that can be used to change narrative, that can be used to set agenda. So different people have different narrative of what photography is all about. It depends on your orientation, your experiences. So we have different kinds of photography. We have the fashion photography. As you can see here, it's all about showcasing maybe the culture or the beauty models on the runway. We also have nature photography, which is about showing the natural scenery and like landscape, hills, plants, etc. We have the wildlife photography. This is more or less like you are showing animals in their natural habitat. And in order to do this, you need to be very patient and you need to be very calculative while taking your pictures. Then black and white photography too. This people will get this too as being a classic picture because it shows raw beauty of the subjects. And some people believe that black and white photography is the real picture because you can really see how a particular subject is. Some people believe that colors, they are also like distractions. So black and white photography is referred to as something that shows what we cannot see in colored photography. Then we have travel photography. Here is about taking pictures while we are having fun, when we travel to different places in different parts of the world. Macro photography is a close-up photography of small subjects like bugs, flowers, and also some brands, they use macro photography too. Maybe when they want to showcase some vital details about their product. We have studio photography. Here, most of us, we go to studios to take pictures. Area photography, when you take pictures from an elevated position. So for this one, documentary photography is about when you are trying to chronicle an event. That is, you are trying to show what is happening in a particular place. It's more or less like a story. You are trying to narrate. You are creating a narrative. You are using pictures to let people know what is happening in a particular place at a particular point in time or over a long period of time. And for instance, some people did the documentary photography of the NSAS protest, talking about how everything was unfolding. Then we have street photography. This is about showing random pictures of what is happening, maybe in a particular place. But for the street photography, it is not about chronicling a particular event. You can just take pictures at a particular point in time. And mood and emotional photography too. This is about you are using pictures to convey mood. You are using pictures to pull the viewer into the scene. And one thing about photography is that the eyes is the site of emotions, and that is why most photographers, they concentrate more on the eyes of people when they want to capture the mood and the emotions of a particular set of people. If you look at this picture, you can see the happiness. You can see people. These kids are very happy, and it's all about showing the mood that they have. We have food photography, sports. So now we have talked about the different types of photography that we have. Although this is not an exhaustive list, we still have other kinds of photography. But because of time, I just restricted to all these types of photography. Then photojournalism is, when we're talking about photojournalism, then we are talking about using pictures to tell stories. We are talking about storytelling using the medium of photography as the medium. Picture is the medium of telling stories for a photojournalist. And while journalists only use pens and paper to tell stories, a photojournalist use pictures when they are telling their stories. So in a nutshell, a photojournalist is somebody who uses camera to take pictures, the person who uses pictures to tell stories, and is the person that is the first gatekeeper in the process of news collection and dissemination. And I believe that pictures, to a large extent, can tell a lot of stories, more than 1 million words. It depends on how you tell, depends on how you capture that particular subject. And the angle in which you use to capture your subject will determine how people will interpret the picture that they are seeing. So there is a particular thing we refer to as the imperative of photojournalism. You know, we have different people that take pictures. When you go to a particular event or in a particular program, there are so many people taking pictures. But something that differentiates a photojournalist from every other form of photographer is what we refer to as purpose. As in, for a photographer, for a photojournalist to be different from other photographers, that means the photojournalist must have a purpose. And you know, when we are talking about purpose, we are talking about you have a particular objective that you want to achieve. There is a reason why you are taking that pictures. Because if you don't have any motive, any motivation, a photojournalist can be taking a say nothing picture. That is a picture that does not have anything to say. We refer to this type of pictures as cliché, photo cliché. That is an overused and tired expression, something that is not really adding any value, that people cannot really extract anything special from. So when you are taking pictures, you must make sure that you have a particular motive. Why am I taking these pictures? What do I want to take? How do I want to take these pictures? Those are the most important thing that you must try to, that must be your guide. So now when we're talking about the what are you taking? For instance, if you are a photographer, maybe a photojournalist, for instance, you want to go, maybe you are taking pictures of maybe a burial ceremony, for instance, maybe, and when you now go to the burial ceremony, you are not taking pictures of people that are walking on the street. So you need to have a what. What do you want to take? And it is that what that will guide what the kind of pictures that you are going to focus your attention, the kind of subjects that you're going to focus your attention on. And also another is the why. Why are you taking these pictures? So for the why, there are different reasons why you take pictures. It can be for assignments, maybe for a particular assignment. It might be for the organizational style. You take pictures because maybe your organization needs a particular picture. Another is the audience factor. And you can also take pictures sometimes just to vary from competition. Maybe you've been taking a particular type of picture over and over again, so you just want to deviate a little bit. And sometimes too, you take pictures not because you need the picture now, but because maybe you need the picture in future. And so we have different reasons why we take pictures. Then another is the how. How do you take pictures? When we are talking about this how, we have two major approaches, the objective approach and the subjective approach. So for this objective approach here, well, we are talking about the photographer that is making deliberate efforts to take a shot according to fact without expressing bias or personal opinion. So for this objective approach, it shows that the photojournalist is taking that picture without any form of ulterior motive. You are taking the pictures because you want people to see the picture, the subject, the way it is. But you know, there are so many ways, you know, nowadays people take pictures with subjective approach, maybe because they have an ulterior motive. For instance, you want to take pictures of maybe Oyo State now. You want to let people see how beautiful Oyo State is. Then you now focus on maybe you went, or maybe you want people to see how Oyo State looks like. For instance, you now take pictures of all the beautiful places in Oyo State without taking pictures of the other parts of Oyo State that are not so beautiful. So that one is more or less like a subjective approach. That means you are being subjective. You have infiltrated the objectivity. It is no more true. So there is kind of is like shaky. The information that you are passing across is not really genuine 100%. So then now we now ask ourselves, what is a story? I believe everybody has a story to tell, no matter who we are, especially at this particular period of social media, that almost everybody has one story or the other. Almost all of us now, we are all storytellers. Almost every day on maybe on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, we are all telling stories. And you know, stories are very powerful and they grab and hold attention. And in order to be very, very successful in photojournalism, you must be somebody. You should be able to tell stories with your pictures. Your pictures should elicit a kind of, or should be able to evoke a particular in people. So we really, and the truth is that people remember stories. And you know, story is also part of our culture. And you know, when you tell people stories, there is a way that they will always remember what you have told them. And pictures, to a large extent, they have a kind of a lasting impression in the cognitive of different individuals. So for storytelling, stories are told in order to send the message. For instance, stories are told in order to engage the audience. And stories are told sometimes maybe just in order to have maybe a kind of literary techniques, or maybe just for non-verbal languages and something like that. And in storytelling in photojournalism, like I've said, is about you are trying to evoke emotions, is part of our culture. You are telling the stories with series of photographs. And one thing that I realize is that storytelling is very, very powerful in photography, because to a large extent, our brains are built to learn from stories. And also stories, to a large extent, it depends on how you say it, but stories to a large extent, they touch on our emotions and they also create empathy. And also attention, and people also understand. People understand stories better than when you are just talking to them. But when you are telling stories, people understand, and to a large extent, they can also remember whatever you are talking about. So in order to be a good storyteller in photography, there are some things that you really need to take into consideration. So I'll be talking about the process, as in what you need to take into consideration when you want to use pictures to tell stories. So before you start any photography story, as in before you use pictures to tell stories, there is something that you must take into consideration. And the first is that you must plan. There's a need for you to plan, to be strategic about your planning. That is, you must know what do you really want to talk about. And at this particular stage of planning, research is involved to some extent, because what you want to tell people, what you want to tell people with your pictures, you must have at least a large amount of information about it. That means you need to do your desktop research, and sometimes you need to ask questions from people too. So you need to plan. And also when you are planning you should also visualize how your story will look like. Some people, they create something we call storyboard when they want to go to the field to do photo storytelling. And another thing is that you need to understand your target audience. Who are your target audience? Who do you really want to communicate with? What do you think they want to hear? Because if you don't understand your target audience, it will just be as if you are winking in the dark And you know, when you wink in the dark, nobody will understand what you are talking about. That is why when you are doing your research, you should also do audience research too. That what are the kind of people that I am talking to? Because your storytelling is not meant for everybody. For a particular story you are telling, you must have a particular set of people in mind. And that is why you must have a kind of, maybe to a large extent, the demographic variables, psychographic variables of the kind of people that you want to communicate with. So it's very important for you to understand your target audience. And also, for your storytelling, you need to understand, are you using a single shot or photo series? Is it possible for a single shot to tell all your stories? Or is it possible that you use photo series? When we're talking about single shot, I'm talking about just using one picture. Can one picture tell all the stories? I personally believe that it's not really possible for one picture to tell all the stories. So I will prefer the photo series, because the photo series is a sequential pictures that are telling a particular stories. And you know, when you do photo series, that means you have different kinds of information that are interwoven, and they are still speaking about a particular subject. Then the next one is open stories or closed stories. For the open stories, here, I said open stories are quite interesting because they give a lot of freedom to both photographers and their audience. And viewers' past emotions and experiences will affect the way your story is seen and interpreted. So for this open story, it's more like an open-ended story. You leave your audience to interpret it based on their own past experiences or their own judgment. But for the closed stories, here, the story is closed. You restrict them, the audience. You have a particular mindset that you want to impress on your target audience. So that one is closed story. Then one thing that I have realized in photography is emotions. When you want to use pictures to tell stories, you must be somebody, you must be an emotional person. You cannot be a rational person. To tell a very good stories with pictures, you must be able to prick the emotions of people. You must be able to invoke. You must be able to impact on them. You must be able to have that kind of capability to make people empathize or to draw people into what you are talking about. That is why you must understand how to take pictures that will evoke emotions. And like I said earlier, the face, to a large extent, is the key site of emotions. People can read so many meanings into your eyes. So that is why photographers, to a large extent, they try to focus on the emotional aspect of photography. Then colors too. You can use colors to create storytelling photography. Yes, you should be able to understand the color theory. Are you going to use warm colors, cool colors, complementary colors? You should be able to understand the color psychology in order to evoke or to impact on your target audience. Then another thing in storytelling is that a story is many elements coming together to create a narrative. And when you are attempting to create storytelling photography, always ask, what element should I include in my photo to help me with my narrative? There are some details that are very, very key when you are telling stories. And those details might be something that some people might not really have deep understanding about. So that is why it is very important to focus on details. For instance, if you look at this picture, you can see the details, the details of the fingers of this old woman. Mere looking at this picture, you can see that the person is an old woman, and you can see the fingernails, the clothes she's wearing. All this information, they are giving us details about the kind of subject that the picture is showing to us. Then, and also this picture too, if you look at this picture, you can, the hand of this boy, the torn part of the shirt, the food that the boy is eating. You can smell what we call poverty just looking at this picture. So this picture, to a large extent, is telling us a story about the kind of person that the boy is. So details, minute details, they really count when you are doing photography storytelling. Then another thing is that you need to aim for variety. You know, when you are doing your photography storytelling, you need to shoot from different angles. You must take your pictures from different angles, because you don't want your audience to be to get tired of a particular angle that you have been used to. That is why you must take different kinds of pictures from different angles, from the top, like aerial photography, from the ground, from the side. You know, there are different kinds of pictures that you can take action pictures, wide angle shots, zoomed in, you zoom out, landscape, different kinds of different types of photography shots, in order to make it more exciting, so that people will be fascinated. People will not get bored by mere looking at your picture. That is the same way you are taking pictures all the time. And whenever you are shooting, you should make sure that what you are taking, you have a story to tell. Then the next is being original. Originality is very, very important. You know, photocopy easy, just like people used to say, this popular musician used to say. And make sure that you take pictures that are original. Then for the narrative structure, here you must tell your stories in a chronological narrative structure. That is, the picture, you must have the opening shot, establishing shot, interactive and sequential shots, and closing shots. All this you must try to focus on when you are taking your pictures, because a photography storytelling too is just like you are watching a movie or you are reading a book. And another is choose strong subject matter. When you're talking about subject matter, here I'm asking you, where lies your visual weight? That is, what is the most important thing in your picture? For instance, this picture is showing somebody. You can see the foot of this woman. She's trying to scoop water from the ground. Here we are trying to show the problem of water in a particular community. Look at this picture too. The visual weight is about the eyes connecting with this the boy looking at the baby. You know, it's about, you want to concentrate on a particular thing. What is that particular subject? What is that particular thing that is very, very important in your picture? You must focus on that. So when we are talking about this visual weight, we are talking about, you need to minimize distractions. Distractions might make your pictures to look like a photo cliche. So you need to focus on the most important aspects in your when you are taking your picture, so that the story will have more impact. So here I said you need to keep visual distractions to the minimal level, remove excess information, remove chaos, that something that will you should make sure that your subjects are straight to the point. You should also create curiosity with your pictures too. And you should give your audience enough information and let their imagination do the rest. Then another important thing is that you need to stand on the shoulders of giants. You need to learn from your peer groups. You need to learn from people who are better than you. And when you attend different kinds of maybe photography workshop, like what we are doing now, you attend maybe different kinds of workshop, conferences, seminars, symposiums, you gain more information about how you can improve your photography storytelling skills. It is very, very important. Then the reason why storytelling is very important in photography is because to a large extent, it inspires people, makes them to think, invokes their emotions, and also for the photographer, to a large extent, photographers use pictures to also express their feelings, to let people know how they feel about a particular issue. Then also, photography too is an advocacy tool. You can use photography to advocate in order to change a particular situation, maybe in a particular place. And also, photography storytelling also, to a large extent, can make a very big impact, maybe in the lives of so many people, because we all know that pictures can tell more than 1 million. Pictures is more than 1 million words. What a picture can say, 1 million words can never say it. So in conclusion, I just want to conclude by saying that photography and storytelling can be actively used as transformative tools for social activism, which can lead to deepening democracy, facilitating social change, and advancing development at the grassroots, and also the possibility of perceiving the world from the viewpoint of the people who lead lives that are different from those traditionally in control of the means for imaging the world. So to a large extent, pictures can change the world. The storytelling capacity of a particular individual can make you to understand what is going on in some places that you have never been to or may never be to, and it can change so many things in the lives of so many people. So thank you very much. I have finished my presentation.
Thank you, Dr. Kadiri. So we are going to have, I think it's Patrick Elis coming. All right.
Annie.
Okay.
Hi, Annie.
Hi.
Okay. It's time for questions and answers before we accept.
Okay, before I go. Okay. All right. So I think we should have. Let me check the chat. Let me know if there are any questions. I think you can type up your questions up in the chat. I don't have access to the YouTube live. I don't know if there are questions asked from there.
I'm going to quickly check and channel it to you right now.
Okay.
Oh, I want to check.
Okay, someone is asking if they can have access to the slides you just presented, Dr. Kadiri. Is it available to people? Do you
yes,
want to
it's available to people.
Okay. Probably, I don't know how that can be decimated. Yeah. So I don't know if this. I think Peexoo would have to send the what's called. Have to get the link down to you guys. Peexoo, is that something you guys can do?
Yeah, definitely. After the session, after this virtual event, we are going to reach out to everyone with slides of all the panelists that actually shared slides. So we're definitely going to do that. Yeah. Okay. So we are trying to bring some questions for the for Dr. Kehinde Kadiri. So give us some moments that we share the questions. Yep.
Okay.
There are 2 questions right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see a question.
Yeah, how to make money from photo telling. Of course, that's the Nigerian.
Yeah. Okay, should I answer now?
Yeah, please go on.
Okay. For photo storytelling, it's possible to make money from it, especially if you are working with maybe a particular organization, or sometimes some organization, maybe when a particular organization, maybe like United Nations, WHO, they have seen your works, maybe what you have done in the past, they might employ you to do a photography storytelling, maybe on a particular project that they want to do. For instance, you want to do maybe a photography storytelling on child labor, for instance, you can do something like that for them. You talk about maybe the challenges that kids they face, or maybe for this child by roaming the streets, and maybe the consequences for the family, the consequences for the society. You know, you use pictures to tell stories. It is possible. It depends on your skill, how you can use pictures to evoke emotions. And one thing you need to understand is that evoking emotions is very, very important in photography storytelling, because that is the only way people can take action based on what you are talking about. For instance, myself, I use photo storytelling for my NGO. I use pictures to tell stories about the challenges that people are facing, the water challenges that they are facing. And after telling the story, I tell them, I advocate that people should donate so that we can solve the problem for people in that particular village. And people, they send us money, and so far so good. We've been able to provide over 10 boreholes, like 10 boreholes to different communities. So that one too is a way of getting funds to solve problems for societies. So it depends on what angle that you want to really the kind of photography that you want to specialize on. For instance, mine is humanitarian photography. Maybe yours can be maybe fashion photography, maybe sport photography. It depends on how you can use pictures to tell the stories and what people are really interested in. That is why researching your target audience is very, very important. What do you think people are really interested in?
Okay. There is a second question. It's saying documentary photography. Is there any permit or pass someone needs to have to visit some historical places? Because most times someone has to pay huge or might be restricted to visit some location that has to do with history.
Yes, definitely. When you are going to maybe all these story centers, maybe or historical places, you need to get a permission. Permission is very, very important, and that is why, like I said earlier, planning. And you know, when you are planning, all this information are what you will have answers to. So it's very, very important that it's very, very important that you seek the consent of people that you want to have access to. Because if you don't get their consent, having access to them might be very, very difficult or even impossible. And sometimes too, you need to be very diplomatic too in order to have access. Diplomacy is very, very important. You must be somebody that you must be able to convince people so that they will accept what you are trying to tell them to do.
Okay. So can you please share some of your tough challenges in your photo storytelling voyage?
Okay.
Hi, Julia,
I remember some like 2 years ago, I went to a particular village in Kwara State. We wanted to do a project on education. We want to see how pupils are roaming around the streets, how they are not going to school, the empty rooms, and etc. like that. And we arrived at that particular village. Unfortunately for us, maybe we did not talk to the right people. We only spoke to the wrong set of people. So when we're now taking pictures, so some guys now wanted to attack us, or they even attacked us. We were almost mobbed that day. They wanted to destroy our cameras. But because I went there, I didn't go there alone. I went with like 4 of us. 3 of them are guys. I was the only lady there. So we were able to they could not hurt us, but they were really very, very they were ready to attack us that day. Another is when we went to another village too for a particular water project. When we got there, we were explaining to them the rationale behind our project, but they were not convinced at all. We were stoned. And we left the village, but we went back again another time, but this time we were more prepared. So we had to talk to the people again, try to tell them what we have done in the past, show them pictures of our past projects, and they allowed us into their community. So that is why gaining access is very, very important. You need to understand the people that you want you document on, and you also need to understand the target audience that you want to show these pictures to. So research is very, very key in photography. That one is very, very important. You research on what you want to do, and also you research on the people that you want to work on. That is very, very important in documentary photography and also in humanitarian photography. And I think every aspect of photography, research is very, very important.
Okay, I wanted to ask, do you think Nigeria as a whole is kind of backward in terms of what they think photography is? Do you think there's always this hostility that is met, when you're trying to capture harmless images? Do you think that also that education and this sort of mentality has something to play with that?
Okay. When you're talking about hostility, to some extent, people are hostile when you are taking their pictures without their permission. When you don't ask them, when you don't tell them the rationale why you are taking the picture, the motivation for that particular picture.
Okay.
And one thing in photography is that when people don't give you consent, don't bother. You cannot force yourself on people. And one thing that I realized, because I focus mainly in rural areas than the urban setting, what I realized is that the rural people, is not as if they don't want you to photograph them, so to say, but the feedback that we got from them is that on many occasions, people have come to their villages to take pictures about them, to do video with empty promises. They will take their pictures, do video on what is happening in that particular community, and they will not come back again. So that is one of the reasons why these villagers are very hostile. But when you try to convince the villagers, I remember that there are so many occasions we had to convince them to explain to them what you want to do. And after we have executed our own project in a particular community, they will come back and tell us, we did not even believe you the first time you came. We were thinking you were one of them, one of those people that used to come. So I feel that your purpose, the purpose for a particular photography project, you must let the subject to know about it. You must be able to convince them. That's why I said it's also very important to be diplomatic. Apart from researching, you also need to be very diplomatic. You need to come down to the level of the people you are having interaction with. You should not do like you are Oga boss, like I am bigger than you. No. And also to some extent too, you need to look like them. Sometimes when you are going to a particular community, for instance, if they are wearing Ankara, using Iran and Buba, sometimes you may need to do like that, sometimes, and so that they will believe you that you look at least almost like them. And language is very, very key too. Language is very, very important. And to a large extent, I've realized that the success of a photography storytelling is more of language. When you understand the language of the people you are documenting on, to a large extent, your photography storytelling will be very superb. You'll be able to impact on your audience more than if you go to that particular community with an interpreter, because there will always be communication gap when you go with an interpreter compared to when you understand the language of the people.
Okay, so that means you've had more success in the West than you have.
Yes.
I see. Okay, definitely. Okay, that's insightful. Okay, so at the end, what's your go-to gear for what's called? What do you have right now that you use for your documentary photography?
You mean books?
No, your gear, your camera, you use what?
Okay. I use Canon.
Oh, you use a Canon, okay.
Yeah, I use Canon. And recently I realized that people don't really, as in taking the camera along with me to some extent can cause distraction. You understand? When people see you bringing out the camera you want to take, it may make them to adjust, because I want to take them naturally. So now, most of the time now, I use my phone. I use my phone most of the time to take pictures, because when I'm using my phone, people will not adjust, because I want them to look so natural when I'm taking pictures. It's not a studio picture. So now I use more of my phone camera than my DSLR camera.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I also do videos too. Sometimes, maybe when I want people to really see a particular scenario, that video will tell the story better than still image.
Still images. Okay. All right. Someone is asking for book recommendations to read or storytelling. Do you have such?
I cannot really recommend a book, because I read on the internet. I don't really have a specific book that I read. I just Google storytelling and I read, and I jot it down somewhere. So I'm very sorry, I may not be able to recommend a particular book right now, but I can get back to you after this time out and give you maybe a good recommendation for for photography storytelling.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Dr. Kadiri. I think that's all the questions we have right now. Peexoo, can you come on board? Tell us. Okay. Someone just said, who are the clients of photography stories apart from magazines?
Okay. For instance, NGOs are clients of photography storytelling. NGOs, we have different NGOs that they do storytelling. Also, international organizations, for instance, maybe like UNICEF, like WHO, and even now, private organizations too, they are doing storytelling. Maybe they are doing storytelling, for instance, in some big organizations, even in banks, in all these industries, they also do maybe some storytelling about what is happening in their organizations. Some organizations, they have documentary photographer standby in their payroll that they pay and they take pictures, because we all need to create content. Organizations now are creating content because you need to stay in touch with people. Storytelling too is more or less almost like advertising too, because you are speaking to the emotions of people. You are communicating with their souls. So organizations too, different organizations, especially all these big industries, they use storytelling when they want to communicate with their target audience.
Okay. I think everybody should put up their mic aside besides two of us. Everybody should please put up their mic so that there's no interference. Okay. Okay, so I'm bringing in Juliet right now, so that she can introduce our next speaker. Thank you, Dr. Kadiri, for having us. It's been a pleasure having you.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so I think Juliet, I think you can pop up now. Hi, Juliet.
Hi, Annie.
All right, so I'm guessing I'm passing the baton over to you.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, that was an interesting session. Thank you, Doctor. Okay, so next we have video director Patrick Elis. He's not a stranger to all of you. He's very renowned worldwide. He's done so many videos. And hi, Patrick, if you're here, can I have your video on? Hi.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm fine. I was looking through your bio, and then I was, intrigued. Everybody that has come through so far, like all those who have come through, I guess, are like photographers doing still, images, but then you are doing video. And then I was wondering, what's the connection really? Because it's a photography conference and then you're doing video. Yeah, so I'm just eager to hear what you have to say concerning the whole diversity in visual photography.
Photography and video, they work hands in hands. I think I was once a photographer, but visual is just the motion part of photography. So this time around, it's just capture the emotions visually, movement. Photography is still obviously, video is just the motion aspect of photography.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me just get a brief background because we have a few people who may not know who you are. So if you can quickly give us a brief background of your videography or cinematography career before we delve into the main issue today.
Okay, my name is Patrick, for those that don't know. My name is Patrick Elis. I'm from Delta State. I was born in Ibadan and I grew up in Warri and Lagos. So I schooled back then in Warri. I moved to Lagos like 15 years ago. And
okay.
I dabble into video making through a group of young guys that I saw and I feel the creative, and I was like, okay. I studied architect in school and I was like, I think I like what you guys do. So the things they do, they make videos. So that's how I started doing videos. And they do videos for Two-Face, Idibia back then, Plantation Boys, and Idris Abubakar. So many people. So I just started, working with them. And from there, I started working in a TV station back in Nigeria, Nigeria. So I work with them. I work with Storm Records. And I just like, okay, I think I love the video making process. I want to start developing myself doing videos. And that is how I moved into video making. And I've done video for almost pretty much the big names in Nigeria. And 5 years ago, I decided I want to, up the game and relocate. I like challenge. So I wanted to do something different. And I figured out that from the video directing point of view, there's no director that have really gone outside. Like born in Nigeria, grew up in Nigeria and leave Nigeria to go outside the country to do something. So it's still the same thing. I wanted to tell a different narrative. I wanted to show different ways that we can interpret our Africa song internationally because one of the things I realized is we have limitation in Nigeria because of the system, and they don't understand the power of visual yet. So if you go overseas, they have access to so many locations. So that brings a different part of the director, that creative part of the director. So back then, 80% of Nigeria video was shot in South Africa at a certain time. So I was like, why do everybody goes to South Africa to shoot video? And the answer I got is because they have access to locations, to the best equipment and all that. So I was like, okay, good. You know what? I want to relocate. I want to expand. So I moved to America 5 years ago. And, you know, I've worked with a couple of people over here. I've worked with Akon, French Montana, Wale, and, you know, happens to do a lot of, you know, partnership with other directors over here. And it's been an amazing process. Still learning. Yeah.
Okay, definitely an interesting journey for you. You kept mentioning that you left Nigeria to, you know, have a different experience in the US outside of Nigeria to bring the African story to the world. That's right.
Correct.
In doing that, do you have any plans of coming back with what you've learned and the experience you've had? Do you
Definitely.
intend to come back to Nigeria?
The idea
Okay.
is not to the idea is not to acquire knowledge and keep it to yourself. The idea is to acquire knowledge and pass it to the next generation in every means possible. So even presently, I still communicate with a lot of young directors back, and I tell them, okay, these are the things you can do. These are, you know, these are the challenges you know you face, because I've been there, and you know, just to encourage them, because we're the only one that can make it better. We're the only one that can change the narrative of visual in Nigeria. So the music video directors are doing a great work. So definitely I'm coming back pretty soon. I'm always back in front anyway.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay, you mentioned that you went to school also to study cinematography earlier. And you know, most people who are cinematographers in Africa don't go to school to become cinematographers.
I didn't go to school to study cinematography. I learned
after the architecture.
Yeah, I studied architecture. I learned cinematography through a group of people that I met as friends. So I didn't study. All I did in the process of the last 10 to 15 years in the business was to go online and do research. Yeah, a couple of times I attend seminars. I just like, you know, investing in myself. So, but 80% of what I learned, if not 95%, I study by just, you know, going through the process every day, watching people's products, and go online, go to YouTube, do research. That's how I study.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Patrick. We're ready for your presentation now.
Okay, the presentation is over. And you can see I really don't have anything written. And like I said, I'm one of those directors that I freestyle most of the time. And that's the only way I can touch through many angles. And one of the things I came here to do was to tell my story. And when I got the invitation, I was like, do I write something down? And I'm like, have I ever wrote something down to explain to people? No, I just express myself. And that's one of the things I wanted to talk about. As a video director, you need to have your style. So you just need to know key points of what you want to do. And one of the things I want to say is the process of video making. Video making, first of all, is a promotional tools, music videos. Music videos are promotional tools for a product. So most people don't understand the concept behind music video. Music videos are products. It's like they're coming to you and say, hey, I have a product, I want you to promote this. So you as a music video director, you're made to expand to promote a product, which is the song. So everything you do in aspects is to promote a song. So there's a song already made by a producer and an artist, and they bring it to you and they say, hey, I want you to promote this for me visually, because what the eye sees is what the mind captures, right? So we want you to give this audience something that whenever they listen to this song, they can reflect on. So that's music video for you. So you're coming to promote a record visually. So that is one thing about music video. So when you understand the concept of music video, you understand how to be successful doing a music video. You want to be a music video director, once first you need to understand the concept, and then everyone has a way of interpreting something. So like everyone has a way of marketing a product. Some people do advertisement on TV, some do on social media, some do on billboard and all that. So that's the way music video director express their visual. So everyone has a way. So the first thing you want to do as a music video director is to, have a style for yourself and say, okay, this is how I want to market my product, which is the music. And if you understand that, then it's easy to actually have a breakthrough in the industry. So first, have a style. And those are the few things that, I want to talk about. As if you want to be a successful music video director, you need to have a style. And then in your style, you need to develop your style. You need to market your style. Those are most things that people really don't know. They wonder why some directors have been there for a long period, because they develop their style every day. If I have a style, if somebody asks me, what's your style, Patrick? When I did my first video, not my first video, my first major video was a video for Whiskey. Holla at Your Boy. So Whiskey now is the superstar of today. So I did the first video for him called Holla at Your Boy. That was his first video he had. And then when I wanted to do the video, the first thing I thought was, what kind of style do I want to do? Whiskey is a new kid. Who are the audience Whiskey want to appeal to? Who are the people that want to listen to Whiskey music? And I find out it's the young generation. And how do we interact with the young generation? Let's take the visual to a school setup. So we try to create a concept that comes from a school environment, because we're appealing to a generation. And that is how we create that concept from the school, riding bicycle, interacting, what happens in school, a boy liking a girl. So we try to create that. That was the style. And another thing I was like particular about, I wanted the visual to be really, really crispy, because at that point, I realized everybody go to South Africa to shoot crispy video. And I was like, okay, why can't we make it crispy? Yeah. So what do we need to make it crispy? Then I did my research, which is one of the things I always encourage people to do. Go online and do your research. Go on YouTube, there's solutions. So I went on research and I find out they use a certain kind of lighting, they use a certain kind of lens to achieve most of these things. So the budget was available at that time to do it. I invest 85% of the budget into the product, and it came out really good and everybody loved it. So you want to be a video director, you need to have a style, and you need to do research every time to improve on that style. You cannot copy another director's style, because a copy product is not original. So if I have opportunity to want what you have, I'd rather get it from the original source. So you cannot copy. So one of the things you need to do is to have a style and improve on your style. So that's one of the things I want to talk about, which is one of the things that kept me here. So my style, basically, I'm really particular about crispy quality. Whatever I do, I want the quality to look good. I love colors. I'm one of those directors that play with colors. My visuals are very colorful. The first video I did for Tiwa Savage in Miami, I told her when she sent me the idea of the song, I said, Tiwa, I want to create a colorful video for you. I see that you have a lot of video, but you don't have colorful videos. I want the blue sky, I want this, I want that. And we did the video all over, and it becomes a big video. So that is the power of your style. And when you have that style, mix it with the music, you have a good product. And when they market the product, people really buy to it because they haven't seen the artist in that form before. So that's another thing. So Another thing I want to talk about is understanding what music video is. A lot of time people ask me, how come you've been in the business for so long? Understanding that music video is not just an art. A lot of people think it's an art. Every time people talk and they say, oh, the first thing is the art. Yes, the art is good. Understand the business of it. You want to be a successful director, understand the business of being a director. Take your art as a business, as a career, invest in it, study it. If not, you're going to fall off the scene after a period of time. Most of successful directors, they don't just stick to the art. They have to expand the art to be a business. If you cannot understand the business, employ somebody that does that. So as an upcoming director, understand that I have a passion, which is the art of making music video. And then go and do research about the business of making music video. That is what keeps you in the business for a long time. So most people don't understand that, and they wonder why people don't come to me after a certain period of time. So you need to understand the business, because even the artists want to do business with you. Like I said, the first thing is you giving a product to make a promotional tools. So it's business from that perspective. I know it's the art, they created that, but it's a business. So as a director, okay, good, I need to make a video that appeals to people so they can download the record, so they can watch the video, so the views can go up. Everything go back to the business. So you want to be a great director, you need to understand the business. So like I said, I don't have a PowerPoint presentation. I'm just going to speak on what have kept me in the business in the last 10 years. I'm going to speak on things that I do to improve every day. So another thing is to discover talent. As an upcoming person that want to be a director, you need to learn how to work with people of your peers. You cannot have the same opportunity a big director that have been in the business for 5 years has had. So you need to learn how to discover new talent and invest in them, which was what I did. At the time I did Wizkid's first video, nobody know Patrick Elis. I was working in a TV station, nobody knows me. So what I did was, Wizkid was a new kid. Nobody knows Wizkid at that time. So I was like, okay, let me invest everything into Wizkid. I was given an opportunity from Banky W to create this video. So let me invest. So I speak to him as a friend. I'm like, what do you want? How did you want it? So I feel like I cannot be given the opportunity to debange at that time. So Wizkid is the right person. So he was the upcoming artist, I was the upcoming director. So as someone that want to be a director, a successful director, and you wonder, how do I get to that big place? I didn't get there overnight. I started with the upcoming artist. The upcoming artist of tomorrow becomes the big name of the next day, right? So I invest in upcoming artists. So another thing I would talk on is, okay, I talk about that, discover new talent, which is grow with upcoming artists. Another thing is patience. A lot of people don't understand that as a video director, you need to have patience, because you work with different people and the emotion comes up and down. Like me, I'm not good in working with, not like I'm not good. In the history of my career, I've really not worked with female artists a lot, because sometimes I'm like, it takes so long for them to do the makeup, for them to do this, for them to do that. But as I grow up in the business, I understand making a visual for female artists are even the interesting part of the business, because they bring a different perspective from you, because then you focus on so many things. So you need to be patient with clients. You want to be a great director, you want to stay in the business for a long time, you need to be patient. People don't understand that you need to be patient. Even if you're a genius, you need to be patient with people, because you're in the business. So another thing I want to talk about is invest in your craft. Like this is a seminar where different people that have been in the business for the last 10 years come through and tells you how they achieve this. These are the methods they use. You should do that all the time as an upcoming director. That is what I do. early 2000 and, okay, let me say, okay, mid 2000s, 2005, 2006, I spent 70% of my time watching, reading. That is what I do. How do people achieve this? I go on set of major directors like DJT, Emeka Obefe. Those were the big name, Aki and Labi and all that. I go there and I offer to help these people just to learn, just to see how they achieve certain things. So as an upcoming director, you need to invest in yourself. You need to go online and do research. You need to go on set. You need to send messages. You need to beg. You need to do whatever you can do to get the opportunity to see how people create these things in real life. So when you have that, that will help you too. Another thing I want to talk about, you need to be prepared. You want to be a successful director, you need to prepare yourself to be a successful director, because that way you can be given an opportunity. Like I said, I was just somebody that want to just make video. I never knew video would be this big for me. Video actually brought me, the art of making video actually brought me to America. Right from getting everything I got, it brought me to see people that I haven't imagined in my life that I'm going to stand in front of. People that I grew up watching, international artists and all that. So actually, when I started preparing myself for that breakthrough. So when I have the opportunity to shoot a video, I put everything that I have into it. And then that was an opportunity that take me to the next level. So you need to be prepared. You need to be prepared all the time. You want to be a great director, you need to be prepared. Another thing I'll talk about is you need to create a style, which I talked first of all. I said that was one of the things that I did, create a style. At that point in time when I started doing music video, there were certain formula of which people shoot videos. And I figured out that there's no video really done in Nigeria that look crispy. So I wanted to do a video that looked like it's shot overseas. And I invest in myself. I did research and I did that. So I create a style, and that style is why people come to me, which is great, because when I see people travel, I'm not joking. I see people flying from Nigeria to come to America to shoot video because of a style. They want that style. Is a uniqueness. So as an upcoming director, you need to find where your strength is and expanding that. You need to have that uniqueness. If it's by telling story, tell story with your visual. There are other directors that do telling story. Me, I particulars about crispy quality. I like colors. So most of my video, I don't really tell much story. Not that I can tell story, but I'm not strong in that aspect. So the aspect I'm stronger is what I invest most of my time in. So you need to be prepared. You need to have a style. You need to look for new opportunities. So when you have an opportunity to say, okay, when somebody gave you an opportunity and said, hey, there is this artist coming, you need to be ready. So look for opportunity all the time. So, and another thing, you need to be available to learn. So many directors are not ready to learn, and that is why you fall off the business. If you want to be there for a long period, you need to be available to learn. You need to be available to collaborate with people. You need to be available to collaborate. I do that all the time. I reach out to upcoming directors and I see what they do and I'm impressed. And I'm like, whoa, this is amazing. How did you get this? Not because I cannot find it, but I want to learn. I want to see how they achieve it. When they say this is how I achieve it, I go back and I look for another method of achieving that same thing. So when I deliver mine, it doesn't look like theirs. So you need to be ready to learn, and you need to invest. Like I said before, invest in yourself, and you need to see your craft as a career. People don't do that. Like I said, people always say it's an art, it's an art. It's not just an art. It's a career. You want growth, and not just growth in terms of the art, in terms of all areas. That's the only way you can be in the business for a long time. You need to see it as an art, as a career. You need to invest every day. Every day I wake up, I go on my system. I want to do research on how to be better off. I want to do research on how to be better off. Sometimes I get tired. Sometimes I get, stressed out. But this is a career. If I work in a bank, I want to be a manager someday. So if I'm an upcoming director, I want to be known someday. So I have to go back every day and do research. Those are the things that I do. So one of the things I always said is Nigeria is a place that is blessed with talent. And the only way to achieve these things with the experience that I've had is first to believe in yourself and to know what you want to do. When you find out that, okay, this is what I want to do, then you have to start investing into yourself. You have to start being patient, trying to go out and mingle with people, trying to explore new things. So have a style as a director, no matter how hard it is, create a style. Look at the market, see what they have. This director shoot like this. You might not agree with how the director works, but that's the style. That's why people pay them. Don't criticize another director because you don't love his job. Create yours. Because there's a lot of people to service. There's millions of people watching videos, and not everybody like a certain style that you love. Some people prefer this style. So that's why it's a market to service people. That's why I say it's not just an art. Video making is not just an art, it's a business. So when you understand that as a video director, you've been, like, people come to you so that you can produce a product to market what they have already. You understand that, okay, good, I need to actually go hard. Yes, that's the little I have to say. Do I still have more time?
Yes, you do have a few more minutes, Patrick.
Okay, so what do I want to say? Equipment-wise, a lot of people always ask me to what kind of equipment you work with. I work with all kind of equipment. When I started doing video, I was using a DSLR camera, a Canon 7D. Before Canon 7D, I was using a camera called DV Pro, a HD. And the equipment really don't matter. Is the eye, what you see. Like I said, when you have a style, you can create with even your phone. I've shot some videos with a phone and people think I use good cameras to shoot that. Like I said, when you have a style, you will understand that, okay, this is the direction I'm going. And you can improve on it every time. So equipment really don't matter, but now the great equipment, the amazing cameras, so you can actually rent cameras and explore. So that's for equipment. There's no particular equipment you can use. You don't have to limit your quality based on the equipment you use. So once you have a style, sometimes your video doesn't have to be crispy like Patrick video, but that's your style. Once you market that style, it becomes what somebody need to promote their product with, and they will come for you. So which other thing, challenge that I've had, which I always speak on, is always to have the best crew to work with. You need to start creating a crew, which is one of the things I never did. I didn't have the best crew to work with when I started. So now I actually created a new crew when I moved to America. So you need to have the right crew. You need to have the right people to work with. And now as a video director, it's not a title for you to feel like you're the head of the team. You need to communicate with the people that you work with, from your editor to your colorist, to your cinematographer, to your stylist. That's the only way you can create good visual. You need to be able to communicate with the people that you work with. Don't feel like you're the boss on set. So those are the things that I've understand. And obviously in Nigeria, there's limitation to location, but you actually don't need to shoot where the big names shoot. You can shoot around your environment to achieve something good. It's just when you have a style, even if I watch your video, even if it's done with as low budget as 50,000 naira, if I can tell there's a style, then I want to give you 500,000 to shoot a good video. I want to give you 1 million, and like that. You need to have a style. So it's very important as an upcoming director or somebody that want to be in the business to understand the power of having a style, because that is what people pay for, not just your name. The style creates the name for you. So which are the things I really want to talk about? And never compare yourself with another director. Learn from everybody. Never compare yourself. It's very key. You guys don't have the same mindset, so I cannot create like you. There's a way I want to create my visual. You might not understand it, but that's how I want to create it. And there's 1,000 and million people that love it that way. And that's why I can create it and put it online and still have the amount of view that you have. So that doesn't mean you're better off than me. I never compare myself with another director. I always see everybody as, okay, we're all creating something. We're all adding impact. We're all adding impact. We're all doing this for the culture. We're doing this for our personal reasons and all that. So I always see that is a very key. I never compare myself. Everybody is fine at doing what they do. So because when you do that as an upcoming director, when you start putting yourself in the box, comparing your work with another person, then you limit how you can expand, because then you're living for another person. So never do that. And like I said, invest in yourself, do research. There's no limitation to video making. You can create a style and it becomes the next style. So do your research every day. All right.
All right, Patrick, thank you so much. We have a few questions for you.
Okay.
So there's a question from Daniel Chima. He's saying that there are so many talented upcoming artists who create good sounds, but when you make sacrifices for them by shooting a good video with their low budgets, they end up not promoting the video. How can a new video director overcome this challenge?
Yes, the first thing is upcoming artists generally have limitation, like you just said. First of all, to come up with a budget is a lot. To promote a record is more even harder than to make a record. So for me, what I do is I promote my product. Even to date, when I do a video and I have a release date, I actually promote it, because I'm not just promoting an artist, I'm promoting my work. So what you can do is to promote your product if you have the opportunity to do that. And by promoting your product, is not by putting it on TV all the time. Everywhere you go, take your product with you. Show that to another director, to another director, to another artist, to another artist. That's the only way you can do that, because sometimes the upcoming artists don't have the budget, and they can't do that because they're not signed to labor, and they don't have that experience, and they don't have that vision that you have. So when you create a visual, it's your product. So take it out and promote it.
Okay. Thank you for that. There's another question from Nicholas David. He's asking, what is your process of coming up with ideas to market?
Yeah,
what's the process of coming up with ideas to market whatever product a client brings to you?
Okay, the process of coming up with idea to market is, like I said, the first thing I do when you send me a song, I always ask you, what's the market? What are you looking to achieve with this record? It's very personal for me to know what you want to achieve and if I can help you with that. If I know the direction you want to go, everybody want to blow, but certain people, I've worked with Flavor a lot, and I've done a lot of video for Flavor, and most of the time he hits me up and say, Patrick, I want this video to capture this part of me. And that is what I focus. If you want to do a video and say, Patrick, I want an African feel in this video, the concept is going to be played around Africa, from the styling to the environment to the colors I use. It's going to be around Africa. If you say, I want this video to capture the sexy part of me, the concept will be played around how it looks physically. So that is how I come up with my concept in video making. First, I ask the client, what did you want to capture with this? Sometimes they tell me what they want. Sometimes they don't have. And then I think of, okay, If you don't have a concept or you don't have a direction, why don't we go with this direction? So those are the things that I do. I pitch those ideas. I sit down and I think about, okay, what is trending? What can we tap into? When I'm coming up with my concept, what do we want to achieve? I go on social media, I see what is trending, and I'm like, okay, why don't we do a video that approach to this? So we can have this audience come in. That is how I come up with my concept in video.
Okay. I hope that answers your question then. We have questions from YouTube as well. There's one from Janet. She's asking, how do you enhance collaborations with others?
How you enhance collaboration with artists, first of all, is you have to make them understand that you believe in the product. And you have to share the same vision with them. They have to trust you. And they have to see that you don't just do it because it's for a personal reason. You do it because you want the success of the product. That way they can trust you with their work and even trust you with more work. That's one of the things I do. So when I work with the artists, they can tell that I'm passionate about their product. So that way they can build more longevity relationship with me. I have artists that always called me first and say, Patrick, I just did this song, can you listen to it? And I listen to it and I'm like, oh, that song is dope. But I think this director can work better on this song. So they'll be like, oh, I'm trying to give you a job. Why are you pushing me? I say, no, from this record, I feel this director can actually do this. So that way they see that I'm not just trying to take money from them. I'm actually building a relationship, a working relationship with them. That's have enhanced my working relationship with a lot of artists.
Okay. There's another question also from Instagram. For those watching us live, please send in your questions. Patrick is able and willing to answer all of them. So the next question is from Instagram. The question is, how do you handle clients that don't share your vision?
Yes, that's another thing you need to know as an upcoming director. Not everybody will share your vision. Like I told you, understand one thing, which is one of the things a lot of people do is you're a music video director. I know it's an art. I know you want to create something, but always understand that you'll be consulted to create a marketing product. Remember that people reach out to you to say, oh, I like what you do. Can you create this product for me? Sometimes they have an idea. Sometimes they don't have an idea. Sometimes they agree with your idea. Sometimes they don't agree with your idea. There comes the patient aspect of it. Sometimes I work with a client, not sometimes. A lot of time I work with clients that the vision is actually not, it's not strong enough for what they want to do. And I feel like I can actually give them a better product and they stick to what they want to do. I don't want to call names. And sometimes doing that for them comes out really good. And it works for what they want to do. So I'm able to understand that it's not all the time I will have my way as a director to create what I want to create. So when you work with those artists that are giving you difficulty in terms of collaboration, understand that that is another learning process in the business. Not all the time that you will have your way as a music video director. It's not all the time. Some artists want things done a certain way. So you look it, okay, fine. I know I don't like these things as my style, but how can I do it to make it look better so that I can start liking it? That is what I do. So you want to shoot a video, and I don't like nudity in my videos. I don't like it, but some artists want women to be naked in the videos. So how can I do it? Okay, instead of me putting a certain kind of woman, let me put this kind of woman. Let me do this. Let me do this. There's always going to be a little argument, but at the end of the day, we're doing something. We're coming together to market a product. So I attempt to agree with you. I might not like it fully. It might not be my best stand, but if the client is happy sometimes, that gives you joy.
Okay. There's an interesting question about the COVID. Okay, so question is, how has the lockdown affected you as a cinematographer, and how are you bouncing back?
Yeah, the lockdown has really affected video directors, especially I'm in the States, and it's not like Nigeria, it's lockdown, and it's hard to really, because video making, you have to go out, you have to mingle with a lot of people. It has really affected us. That's why we should, this is what I do. This period, I'm using it to create. I'm actually using it to write ideas and all that. So when we have a little break in between, I have so many clients that's already on standby sending me record, I'm sending idea. So it does have affected me. And for me, at the same time, I've always been, on the road, booking and shooting and shooting and shooting. So it's a time for me to reflect on all the work that I've done and to see where I made mistake and to see how I can improve, which is part of what I've been doing. Just sit there and do research and just go through. So has it affected me? Yes, it has affected me, but that is why, with creative people, you can work with any situation.
How do you, this is just a personal question from me, how do you usually handle situations where you are burnt out, or you're out of ideas, or you're not feeling creative at all? What do you do in such situations?
It does happen a lot when you get too busy. You will run out of idea. I don't know anybody that will say they don't. I do. Sometimes I run out of idea, I take a break. I turn down job because I don't have the mindset to actually do that. So when I do that, what I do now is to go back and start studying and watch things and get inspired by other things. Because what I do every year, I try to create a style. So this year, this is the style I want to do. So I have to improve on that style. The next year, this is the style I want to do. These are the angles I want to do. So with the aspect of running out of idea, I work with different crews. Sometimes I work with different people. Sometimes I take a break and I just go around and I get inspired again by the same reason why I get into the business. So when you run out of idea, always collaborate. That's what I mean by collaborating. That means when you figure out that you're stuck, because as a creative person, you get stuck sometimes. When you figure out that you're stuck, always collaborate with people. Let the new generation comes in, let them do things for you. So just see how this thing is done and go do your research and come back again and get refreshed. Even a car cannot drive from Abuja to Lagos with a full tank. You have to pack and fill up and continue. Sometimes you have to slow down for another car to pass you for you to see the direction right. So that's the way it is. When you run out of idea, you have to take a break. You have to go back to the drawing board, collaborate with new people, study more, and bounce back.
Okay, thank you. Wow, there are so many questions coming in. Let me take my time and go through all of them. Okay, so there's a question on, if you hadn't been a videographer, what would you have wanted to do?
Fashion. I love fashion.
Fashion. Okay.
Yeah, I love fashion a lot. I think I'm still going to do that. Being a videographer doesn't limit me from not doing that. I love fashion, and I used to be a model before I became a director. Like I said, I've tried so many things. Director was one of the ones that actually worked for me. So I want to make clothes. I like fashion. I like colors. I want to expand at that. So I'm actually doing research on that, on how to make clothes and design and collaborate with big brands. So if I'm not a videographer, I want to be a fashion designer. Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever considered going back to architecture?
No. So what I do is I just design wherever place I am. I just, just create. My home is my art. So if you can see behind me, I just create everything around me. So, but I don't think it takes so much time. And I'm already in love with what I do. So I just want to expand into the entertainment sector.
Okay. So there's a question from Nicholas David. Okay, he's asking, how do you manage when a client presents an almost impossible concept?
I tell the client it's impossible. And impossibility is not, if it's impossible, there's no word like impossible to me though. If your budget is right, it's possible. So the only impossibility I always encounter is when the budget is not right. So when you send me a concept of Justin Bieber, I try to make you understand how much they spend on the video. Sometimes I go online and I do my research and I send it to you. This is how much this video cost. So it's not that we can't create this, but the budget we have cannot make us achieve this. So that is impossible, not because I can't create it. It's impossible because your budget cannot handle it. If your budget can handle it, then I can actually collaborate with people. If I don't have the capacity in my head to produce that, collaborate with people. So when you give me something impossible, I try to make you understand that the impossibility doesn't come from me, it's your budget. So you know that, and then you don't want to ask for too much. We can put 100 girls or 100 cars in the street and block Lagos Island, and put 200 cars and block Lagos Island. Yes, we can do that. But doing that, it costs a lot of money. We need to think about security. We need to think about directing people. We need to think about the good lighting. So that costs money. So you want 100 cars in Lagos Island, we can make that happen. But do you have the budget for that? If yes, and I cannot do it, I want to collaborate with somebody that have done it so that I can learn that experience.
Okay. Okay. What's your advice on pricing?
There's no pricing. Like I said, you know what you want. So your price is based on what you want at the time. And what you want is based on what the market sometimes offer you. The trendy directors, they're trendy because they have produced a lot of products that is on TV. So their price goes up because they're trendy. And that's everybody. So, but this is where it comes in. When you create a style, you have the amount of money you want to go. Sometimes I have a number that I want to make for every product that I produce. And no matter what, I don't go below that. Not because the next director can be charging 10 times higher than me, but this is how much I want to make. I'm very self-satisfied. Once I'm satisfied, that is all I'm interested in. So this is how much I want to make per product. So every time I shoot a video, this is how much I want to go on with. So my price is different. So no matter what I do, this is how much I want to go on with. It's a business for me too, because that's what pays the bill. So my pricing is different. So you, as an upcoming director, your pricing might not be my pricing, but know what you want from a product. Sometimes I go on with nothing, but that is what I want from that product. I want to work with this artist. What I want to gain from it is that collaboration. So I'm not trying to gain money from it. So I go to that project with the mindset of not making money. So as an upcoming director, pricing should be your main focus. What should be your main focus is the satisfaction of your work. So I know it's a business, but know that even business, sometimes partnerships are not made to make money, but made to expand the product. So that is really what I focus on.
Okay, okay. There's a question about your career in America. It's saying that, are you trying to break into mainstream America, and how is that turning out? There's a question from Instagram.
Yes, it is. Am I trying? I don't think I'm trying to break in to mainstream America, because it is difficult to break in. People don't know that. When I came here, I was opportunity to sign a contract with Akon, which was a big deal for me. And then I had partnership with Atlantic Record, which offered me to shoot video for Wale and some of the American artists. Yeah, but it's hard to break through because they have a different culture, they have a different style. And sometimes the kind of song they send to you, I'm in Atlanta, they do trap music. What they want is not what I like. So I'm not trying to break through. I just want to make visual. I'm not trying to break into American market. I just want to make visual for all markets. If you love my visual, if I show you what I do and you like it and you want that, then let's work. So It's really not easy, but there's not impossibility. It's not impossible. If that is what my focus in, I would definitely achieve that, but that's not what my focus is. I just want to come to a place whereby I can have access to almost everything that I want, from location to the best crew to the best lighting people, and to collaborate with other people that admire the work.
Okay. Okay. So, wow, there's so many interesting questions.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm here.
How do you handle delegations? And then the same person asked, do you ever get overworked? And there's a third question. Have you ever rejected a job?
Yes. I have, start from last, I have rejected a job, obviously.
Okay.
When you tell me a song and I feel I can create it, I will tell you I'm busy. That's the only way I reject job. I never tell you I don't want it. I'll tell you, oh, when do you want to do this? That's the first thing. When I listen to the song and I don't like it, because I have to love what I want to create, and I don't like it, the first thing I tell you is, when do you want to achieve this? And you say, in a month, I'm like, oh, okay, I think I have this contract I'm doing with these people for another 3 months. I cannot do it. That is how I reject job. I'll just tell you that I cannot do it because I'm busy. And then what's the other one again?
Okay, the other one is, how do you handle delegations?
The delegation, for me, I don't really, I just do me though. That just, okay. I just do me.
Okay. There's a third question from the same person.
Yeah.
Person is asking, do you ever get overworked? I think you answered something similar to that.
Yeah,
but if you want to.
I do. I get overworked sometimes, and I take a break. Once it's too much, I take a break because I can't keep myself. So once the work is too much, I take a break because it's gonna mess up my creative process. And I've done that. This year, maybe because of COVID, which helped me. In every year, I tend to say I want to make 40 videos a year. Or I said, in a year, I want to make 30 videos. There was one time I was making 200 videos a year. I was working every day. And then the money was good, but I can't even go back and look at this job that I did. I'm not really proud of all of that. So then I realized, is that why I want to do this? No. So now I stream it down to say, okay, I want to make 20 videos this year. I want to make 30 videos this year. These are the artists. I have a certain group of artists I work with every year that I do like 3-4 videos for. These are the artists I want to work with. So with these artists, I want to improve. I have a certain artist that pay me good budget and say, okay, with this one, I want to take it to the next level. And then I have the set whereby I say, I want to create new upcoming artists with this video. So I get overwhelmed. And then when the work is too much, I just take a break.
Okay. Okay. Rest is good. Question from Anthony. How did you harness your skills over time? And then there's a follow-up question. Personal development and the like. What determines whether you should work with a client or not?
Like I said, how do I harness my skills? Like I said before, I do research and I'm open to collaboration. I do that all the time. Research, study. I never stop learning. It's very key to me. I learn every day. There's no new director in Nigeria, even if I live in America, that I have not watched their video. I see you, I see what you do. I send you a message and say, yo, I'm proud of you. I see what you do. So that is very key. Always be available to learn. No matter how big you are, learn, and you can learn even the best things from the upcoming director because they have a fresh knowledge and fresh idea. So I'm open. And the other one was the other question.
Hold on, let me just get back to it quickly. Okay, what determines whether you should work with a client or not?
The energy determines that. I don't want to beg to work with a client because we're coming together to create something that benefits us. You coming to me or I'm reaching out to you because I feel what I want to have is going to benefit both of us. right now I can make that decision. But as an upcoming artist, you have to, you know, talk them through to believe your idea and let them understand what they can benefit for believing your idea. So me, if the energy is not right, I don't work. If I sell my ideas to you and you don't feel it, then it's not the right time for us to work. There are many artists that I've not worked with because every time they reach out to me and say, hey, send me a concept. And I send a concept and they'll be like, okay, I want to change this and change this and change this and change it. And I figure out that if they do all that, I already lost. So I don't work. So I just say, okay, if you do that, I don't think it's going to come out good. I want to be proud of what I do. So, because after a period of time, you become a master in your craft to a certain level. So you want to back up your craft with, you know, your confidence. So that's just how I manage others.
Okay, that's fine. There's another question from Anthony. Oh, Anthony, don't worry, it's fine. You can keep asking questions. We have some time. So he's saying, no idea is original, but how do you make your other job better than the past?
No idea is original. Very, very correct. And I tell that to people, but how to make it better is you can tell a white from a black. And if I want to do something that I've done before, I have to be very careful in terms of the colors I play with, because I'm very known for colorful video. They can capture you and they can remind you of something you've seen before. So I try to be mindful of the colors. If I've used an old school red car, I stopped using old school cars in my video because I used to use that a lot in most of my videos I did, yeah. And then every time I use it for another video, remind you of the old video. So I stop it, I switch. So those are how I make the new one better off. So I remind myself that I've done this before, so I have to change it. So now, in order for me to change the idea so it doesn't look like what I've done before, I change the environment. If I put an old school car in front of a mansion, now I'm going to put a newer car in front of an old building. I just switch that. So when you see it, it gives you a different, fresh feel.
Okay, so I think the questions, okay, there's one more, hold on. Oh, do you edit your videos yourself? From Daniel Chima.
No, I don't edit. I work with different editors. I try to do that because I want my video to look different in terms of, because when you work with different people, there's a different touch to your video. So I don't edit my video myself. I work with different editing companies and different editors. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just thinking, if you're editing yourself, also you might end up burning out, right?
Yes, and I'm not used to sit down in a system for so long. I don't like it. So if I sit down so long, I'm like, oh, I'm tired. I used to, when I started as an editor, pretty much, but then I wanted to see the written. I wanted to see the emotions. I don't want to watch it. Sometimes watching somebody fell off and I'm like, oh, what happened? Did she get injured? And I'd be like, oh, no, it's just art. So I wanted to see it. So I started going on set. That's how I started filming myself. So I prefer to actually see the ratings.
Okay, so there's another question from Anthony again. Okay, so he says that he admires your moving to America. What has been your challenges so far, and how have you been able to adapt to change?
It is challenging because you're in an environment where you have to reintroduce yourself. In Nigeria, I can tell that, you know, when I meet an artist, pretty much that's Patrick Elis. So like, oh, Patrick Elis, oh, what's up, boss? You know, or what's up, bro? So it knows my product. You have seen my product. He has watched my product. But yeah, they don't know you. So you have to start again, which is what I love about the hustle, the grind. That is challenging but inspiring, that I can actually start all over again. And obviously you have to adapt to the system, yeah. There's a rules and regulation, not like Nigeria that everything can just happen. So when you get paid, you have to do what you get paid for. When you say 12 o'clock, 12 o'clock is 12 o'clock. It changed everything about how I operate. So it has been challenging and it has been a blessing. So for me, it's still one of the best moves.
Okay. Now I have a personal question. I think this will be the last question before we end the session. So I'm just wondering, because I'm Ghanaian, I haven't seen, I don't know if you've worked with Ghanaian artists, but I haven't seen any of that. Is there anything like that in the pipeline?
I have been reached out a couple of times to do a video for Stoneboy. Even pretty much, Stoneboy is my very good friend. I have a lot of Ghanaian friends, so Stoneboy is my very good friend, and we still talk every day about collaborating. Just because of the COVID, we're supposed to shoot a couple of videos in Jamaica. So I have not really, I've been to Ghana to shoot video a couple of times. I've worked with a couple of directors over there. I've collaborated with them, but I've not really explored the Ghana market. And that is a really huge for me, because when next I come to Africa, I want to be in Ghana and I want to do a lot of stuff for Ghana. So I've reached out to them. Okay, yes, I did video for RO2Bs. It's over.
Oh, okay.
I did 2 videos for RO2Bs here in the States. Yeah, I did 2 videos for RO2Bs. What's the name of the song? Embassy. Was it Embassy or It's Over? One of them. Yeah, I did 2 videos for RO2Bs, and I spoke to Shatawale. So right now I'm doing a video for Tunde, and Shatawale is on it too. So I'm trying to explore that market because I love Ghana music and I love the culture. So I look forward to do stuff there.
That would be nice. We look forward to having you here again. Okay, so do you have any last comments?
Well, I want to say thank you to everybody for tuning in. It's pretty much very early yet. We're still very early. When I have the call, I'm like, damn, it's 5 o'clock. Yeah, but I have to do it, and I look forward to do more of this. I really don't show my face most time. I'm always the guy behind the scene, and I want to do more. And things I want to say for upcoming artists: there's room. There's no amount of name you see on TV. There's room for all the directors to come in. Don't limit yourself. Go out every day, learn something, shoot something. You don't have to wait for a big artist to come to you, because that is one of the major things. Or how can you get bigger artists to believe in you? You don't need them to believe in you. Create with the ones that believe in you. The upcoming artists, create with them, grow up with them, expand with them. So they're the only one you can say, sit down, and they will sit down. They're the only one you can test stuff and they can do. And when they grow up and when they become big, automatically you're big. So they are your friends. Now they can believe in you. So you guys are the big artists of tomorrow. So as an upcoming director, you need to see the upcoming artist as the superstar of tomorrow. So start relating with him like that. So that's just one of the things. And believe in yourself and create your style and do you. No limitation. There's no limitation. There's no formula to direct a music video. No. Whatever way you want to direct it, as you feel like expressing it, express it. That's just one thing I understand about the business. You might have a lot of discouraged from people telling you, oh, you're not dope, this person is better off. But yeah, you're not that person. And you're not in a competition with the person. You're in a competition with yourself. So most people they compare with me with back then, I can never find them in the business. So that's the thing. So are they not successful? They are successful. Maybe that's how they want their own business to be. They've divided, most of them transit into directing other things. Like me, I might transit into doing other things because I have passion for other things. So don't compare yourself with somebody that have a different line of hustle and a different movement from you. So do you and be great. So that's just one of the things I say all the time.
Okay. Thank you, Patrick. But please don't go off. Stephen is coming on to say a few words, share a few words with everybody. Anyway, my takeaway from the session is when your budget is right, it's definitely possible.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. Enjoy the rest of the session.
All right.
Hi. Hi, Patrick.
What's going on, boss?
What's good now? What's good? What's good?
Great.
How's your now?
Bless.
Cool. All right. So I'm actually a big fan of yours. I have been able to be following you right from I think 2017 when I saw your video. I think Yawa with Techno.
Oh.
Then yeah. Then there's also this video he did with this guy. What's his name? Flavor and Diamond Platoons. Time to Party.
Yeah.
Then again, he did with Adekunle Go. That's in Friend Zone.
Yeah.
Like those are awesome smash hits. Like for real,
Thanks,
for real.
thanks. And you can tell the coloring in the video that I play with colors a lot.
Definitely, like he's very artistic, and even the whole. I think you do a lot of video show with Techno and also Fino. So I think
yeah, there's Fino, Techno, Flavor. I think those people are my major client.
Awesome, awesome, cool. All right, man, I'm so excited to have you here, and we look forward to inviting you also to some other interactive sessions we are going to be having. Probably if not even a conference, we can even organize a master class, and let's see what goes out of there.
No problem, bro. I'm available anytime. Peexoo is my family, so we definitely, next time what I'll do is that I'll promote more. I have a couple of my friends that will do shout out, so we have more people come in. So
yeah, definitely. Next one is going to be big.
Yeah,
it's going to be big.
We
and
just
awesome.
need to have the timing right because I'm overseas. So when you guys give me the time, my audience here are sleeping. Most of them. How am I gonna do that? It's 5 a.m. I have to sleep. So, but like I said, I'm a big fan of Nigeria, and I always want to do anything that support the culture back home.
Awesome. Thank you very much for coming on this session. We appreciate you, and we look forward to having you more. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Hi guys. Thank you all for staying. I have a couple of things to share before we wrap up this session. So right now I'm going to talk a bit about what is even Peexoo, because people have been asking Peexoo, what is actually Peexoo, what are we about and stuff like that. So I'm going to share a bit about what we do. Probably I'll talk a bit about myself. So I used to call myself the product guy, or more like someone that is obsessed about building great products and also building great startup companies from Africa. So Peexoo or photography has been kind of my obsession so far. As of 2017, 2016, 2017, I have been a very great admirer of photography business. Not even the creative side of things, but photography business as a whole. Like what actually happens behind the scenes? How do photographers run their business? What is the end-to-end process involved in photography? I've been so intrigued and I've been so like curious, like, okay, what can actually be done? And then I was working with Sisters, that's a Swiss company here in Nigeria. Then from there, I worked with Connected Analytics, where I was able to kind of actually work with a colleague that is a photographer. And that is where I saw the big problem that can be solved in this particular industry, right? So what we have been set out to do is for us to support photographers. That is the core. And our mission at Peexoo is very simple. We want to change the perception of how the world sees Africa, using photography, of course. And how can we do that? We are going to work with who are the what Kelechi Amade will call the chief priests at the altar of perception, right? So you guys are like the people that can actually make this thing happen. And we at Peexoo are here to support you guys. We are here to actually give you guys freedom to focus on creating 100% creative content. Why we Peexoo focus on helping you to build your business end to end, right? So, and that is some of the things I'm going to share now, and I'm going to be very as quick as possible because I'm sure all of you guys have stuff you are doing. We're in the this is the ember period. There's a lot of shit going on, and I'm sure you guys want to rush up and go and do stuff. So let me just head right into it. Yes. All right. Can you guys see? Okay, I'm sure everybody can see my screen. Yeah, cool. So let me just go right into it and talk a bit about the mission or like the vision of what Peexoo wants to do, right? So what we want to do is simple. Like I said before, Peexoo sells freedom to professional photographers by helping them manage and automate their processes, right? And business in general, giving them 100% focus and in creating and capturing beautiful memories, right? So what we are set out to build, especially this year, is that we have been able to build an amazing platform that is going to be like the digital space for photographers. So think of it as your virtual workspace, right? As you all know, everything is going online right now. Like it's crazy. Instagram is there. Pinterest is there. We have so many platforms that are there to help creatives. And Peexoo is bringing a novel platform that will not just help creatives to showcase themselves. We can even help them to grow their business the more, right? So grow their business from helping them get clients to helping them to build. We have built tools that can help you to manage the end-to-end of your product. So I'm going to dive right into it now. All right, so like I said before, Peexoo is a fast-growing online platform. We enable creatives, that's still and motion photographers, to focus their passion while we provide you with world-class business management tools, total protection for your earnings. And when I say total protection from your earnings, what this simply means is that there is no more case of a client not paying you your remaining part of your balance, right? I know this happens a lot in Nigeria and in Africa, where someone will give you a job, and after probably 2, 3, 6 months, you actually still dragging your money from the client, right? We are very familiar with this problem. So we built an escrow system on our platform that once you use our system to send an invoice, you can be able to lock down the date. Also, the clients have to pay you and the money is being locked down. The client is seeing the money, you are seeing the money. You can be able to withdraw probably 50 to 60% to start executing the job. After which, once the job is executed, you can be able to retrieve the other part of the money. So there is no stories of my money is being, I'm still dragging my money from clients, right? So, and also we have a platform that the platform is also built that you can be able to access different brands on the platform. We have an agency for our photographer that's going to help photographers to do a lot of product shoots. So we are partnering with big brands in the e-commerce space. We are partnering with brands in the fashion space, and we are going to load everybody with so many jobs that they cannot even imagine, right? So what can Peexoo do for you, or what can the platform Peexoo do for you? So first of all, as a photographer, it is important to showcase your creativity, or what one of these comedians in the creativity. So it's important for you to showcase your creativity, and also we have been able to build a system where you can share your portfolios to not just people, like not just your own system, but also to clients outside Nigeria, right? And why this is the next best thing after sliced bread is that with Peexoo, you can actually organize your portfolios from art, portrait, fashion, wedding, interior, landscape, name it, anything that you want to do. Because one I believe about businesses is that you have to be organized. You have to pay attention to the little details. So we built Peexoo, we built the portfolio for you to be able to organize all your shoots, both still and motion photographers. We built it, and you can be able to go to the platform, sign up, and now start uploading your portfolios on the platform, right? So while we do the work of making sure that we promote the Peexoo platform and make it like a one-stop shop where once someone thinks about photography or where they can find photographers, they'll just come to Peexoo and find their photographers. That's still a motion photographers. All right. Then another thing again that we have done is that, and this is crazy, right? This is super crazy because it has never been done before. There is some big companies, I won't call their name, that have class services, right? But what Peexoo have been able to do is that we know that photographers use a lot of storage. And so we build what we call the Peexoo Cloud. This can help you to load up to 100 gig of space. And so the more you, like we have a subscription plan, so the more you use a subscription plan, you can even have at least 1.2 terabytes of space. So it's so big and it's so the size, I'm not sure you can even finish it in a month. So that's one of the things that we have done for you guys too. Then moving on to the next one is about getting discovered, right? And what does this thing mean? On Peexoo, we are going to be sharing or promoting your work with top brands, creative agencies, organizations that need photography services regularly. So what we are trying to do, and we as a business pool, is that we are creating some strong distribution channels with some of people that we know that are going to work with photographers. And once that is done, there is going to be an inflow of jobs, right? So that's what we're trying to do. It's not going to be easy, but the truth is that when we are now, like from January, we are going heavily into the market. And what's that going to mean is that we're going to make so much noise about Peexoo and so much, we're going to talk to so many brands that, man, if you're looking for photographers to use for your events, if you're looking for photographers for your product shoot, if you're looking for photographers for your corporate shoot, you have to come and find these guys on Peexoo, because these guys are very serious business people. They are professionals, they know what they are doing. And if, as you can see on the platform, their portfolio has been organized. It's not a place where, like, it's not some platforms where you will see, after you see like 3 pictures, we are now seeing probably the photographers they are at the beach. You are seeing purely photography jobs, right? So then another thing again that we have been able to also do, is scheduling. So this is very important, right? You have, this thing has happened to me so many times when I was doing a lot of research and survey, or more like so when we were trying to build Peexoo, we started out at a very minimal level. We're using just WhatsApp to connect photographers to clients, right? We have a pool of photographers on WhatsApp. Then I have not even started Peexoo actually then. So we have a pool of photographers on WhatsApp. What we do is that we focus fully on event planners, because there's going to be a lot of events coming on, right? So we focus on event planners and we partner with these event planners and make sure that whenever they need photographers, we just throw the job on the job pool and photographers now accept the job, people that are actually free. So when that happens, you will find out that when someone can schedule you today, and after like, let's say 1, 2, 3 days, the person will come back to you and say that, oh, I'm so sorry, I couldn't make the shoot. Can we schedule some other time? I think that is very, very wrong, because I believe that photographers are very busy people. And once you schedule someone, you should be able to lock down the date. With Peexoo, you can schedule, you can use your calendar or what we call Peexoo calendar to schedule your shoots. The client can go to the calendar and see when you are available or not, and can be able to know, okay, wow, this guy, like particularly says, there was a time he was shooting 200 videos in a year. So when a client comes to his scheduling body, the client can know that this man is so occupied that I cannot even book him, or they can even, okay, this guy is not occupied so and so time, let me book him on so and so day, right? So we have been able to do that with Peexoo scheduling. And the good thing about this is that every time we are innovating and we are improving, in fact, we are dedicating customer service that's going to help photographers on the platform to navigate around these things. So that should start by next week as soon as possible. Yeah. So then another thing again I would like to talk about, like I said before, is the payment protection system that we build. So we believe that money is very important here, especially in Nigeria. Money is super important. And what that means is that photographers want their money being paid upfront. I have heard stories. In fact, it has happened to some of the photographers we engage to come and do stuff on the agency, that once they finish the job, the client pays up, and now you have to start hustling the money, the remaining balance from the clients. We are actually guilty of this in a way, and that's why we feel the problem, right? We know that this is a major problem, trying to get your payments completed. So Peexoo built a payment protection system, like an escrow platform where people can be able to, your clients can pay you down, like 100% down. And once they pay you 100% down, you can be able to get like 60, you can be able to get access to like 40 to 60 of the percent of the money to go and execute the project. So once you are done with the project, clients approve that this project is up, you can now go straight to having you can now go straight to releasing the money to you. So the money is secured on our platform. Yeah. So next thing I want to talk about that is very important is our pricing packages. So the Peexoo pricing package is a very unique, it's not on this slide, but I would like to talk about it. So I have spoken to so many photographers that when I ask them what is your rate, they don't actually have a customized, they don't have a pricing pack, they don't have a pricing package, they just give you price out of the top of their head. And you cannot run a sustainable business when you don't have pricing. Even on Peexoo platform, you can see our pricing there. So you don't run a sustainable business when you have not figured out the pricing of your business. So because we are business people and we know the pain points of photographers, we have been able to build a system where photographers can create their pricing packages automatically. So once you create a pricing package and the client goes to your own space on Peexoo, your space on Peexoo is like a website for you. That means you're actually having a website without actually building a website, right? So it's like your digital space, your workspace where client can see your portfolio. They can now have access to your pricing package, and they can be able to know, okay, wow, this guy is quite expensive. I can look at other packages that he has. If he has packages below, let's say the client is looking for a job that is going to fit his budget of like 200K. So you can now toggle through all the packages that you have to see if you can have that particular package, right? So that's what we have been able to do. So then another thing again that we have been able to build, and we actually have some super talented photographers, both still and motion photographers that's going to be teaching on this platform. It's called Peexoo Learn. So I don't know if you guys know Udemy. So I'm a tech person, sorry. And as a tech person, I'm also a creative, but I've been able to take some very good classes on Udemy, very good classes on Udacity and Coursera. And so Peexoo, what we want to do with the Peexoo Learn platform is that it is dedicated to just photographers. And what are you going to be seeing on this platform? You're going to be seeing like very talented photographers that they will now take their time, build courses for you, and we'll put it on that platform. You can have access to that courses, and you can be able to share with you can be able to like enhance your photography. You can be able to enhance your photography, your career in photography. So that's what we have been able to do. So what some of the people that are going to be teaching on this platform, because we know that African photographers are like you are supposed to learn from African photographers, right? So if you go online, you'll see a lot of classes from foreign photographers, but we want to now start doing indigenous African photographers teaching on Peexoo Learn. You're going to be seeing Kelechi Amadiobi, Shola Nemashaun, some of the big names we have in the industry, even Patrick Elis are going to be teaching still motion photography, that's cinematography or shooting videos on this particular platform. Yeah. So with this point, I will want to now, we are building a community for photographers where we are going to engage you guys with master classes. We are going to be training a lot of, I don't want to say parties, but we're going to do a lot of meetups where photographers can meet with top photographers in the industry, even not just top photographers in the industries. They can talk with each other, learn from each other, and be able to grow. Peexoo is being positioned in a way that we want to make sure that you guys learn a lot, right? We want to make sure that you guys learn, and this is the, let me see if I can share the particular, this thing now, the page here on Peexoo. Just give me a minute, please. So let me do a new share. Yeah, so this is the platform. It's called Peexoo.ai/community. So what it is basically, we call it the Peexoo tribe, right? It is going to be the growing community of modern African photographers. Photography is changing. I'm sure you guys know people are having so many powerful cameras now. Like iPhone 12 is so powerful that you can take some quality of pictures that, but what can set you apart is your creativity. What can set you apart is the fact that you know how to tell better stories with pictures, with videos. So we are building that community where you can actually network with people that are already doing that, and you can be able to know how to position yourself to grow in this market industry. See, we want photographers to be riding Maserati. We want photographers to be doing so many, we want photographers to be shooting, like, we want photographers to be millionaires in dollars, not in naira. We want photographers, so, and that's what we start to do. When you guys succeed, Peexoo succeed. So that is what the community is all about, and it's very easy to join. And once you join, you are going straight to our, we have a Telegram group where we are going to be sharing with you guys the different events that we have for you guys, the different engagements that we have for you guys, master classes, and some of the upcoming innovations and upcoming features Peexoo is going to do on their platform. So I think, let me just go back to my slide, but I think that's it for me. I don't know if any of you have any questions. I am so thrilled and happy to answer your questions. Let's go. Okay. What if the client says you did? Okay, that's not my question. Okay. What if the client says you didn't deliver when you delivered everything as agreed on time? Some clients can be very funny, you know. Do you have terms and conditions for the clients to which they will have to sign? Absolutely. So this is something that we have thought thoroughly. Like, it's something that we have. So what we do at Peexoo is basically design thinking. What we do at Peexoo is basically trying to understand our clients better. And how do we do that? We know that some clients are impossible. So we have it, we call it dispute resolution system, where if you finish a job, a client says that the job is not done, we have a dispute resolution panel that we can look at, try and bring both parties together and see what is actually wrong, because the truth is that everything cannot be fully automated. So Peexoo is going to bring that human feel. Peexoo is going to be that arbitrator. We have backings of serious big lawyers in the industry. So, and that's the Lego. We got you covered. So you should know that, and we don't have any, we have a system that can be able to solve that problem. And also, what we do from our own end is that we also need to look at the brief of what the client gives you. That is why it's important that you should, like, photographers should thoroughly read the brief and agree with the client that this is what you want. So in fact, there's what we call mood board, and there's what we call a sample of what the client wants to do. The client should be able to provide you with samples of what they want to do, so that it can align with what you can actually do. A photographer can go and bring you a video directed by a video of Director X. When you know that video is shot with millions of dollars, you are bringing such video and you are trying to pay like 500K or 1 million naira. It's not possible. So you will tell him right there and then that, hello sir, hello man, this is not possible with your budget, right? So you need to be able to be definite on your brief, so that once you delivered your questions, once you delivered your deliverables, client cannot come and be telling you stories that this is not what I want to, that cannot happen. And we are going to make sure that the dispute is being resoluted and everyone is happy. Do you have any more questions? Where? Okay, I've answered the question on Q&A. Do you edit your videos yourself? Okay, that's not for me. Okay. I don't have access to the chat. On the chat. Sorry, I can't find it. The chat, I can't even find the chat. Okay, yeah, sorry, I've seen it. Thank you. Wait, let me read it. What if the client says you didn't deliver? Okay, some clients are so inhumane that they will never be satisfied with any job you do for them. What if they insist is not up to their expectation? What happens to the payment? So this is very simple, and that's where insurance comes into play. As I speak to you right now, as I speak to you right now, we are actually in a very serious conversation with top insurance companies to be able to ensure jobs photographers on the platform. Not just job photographers on the platform, ensure Peexoo on its own. So when there is a case of the brief is being clear, there are sample videos that the clients have sent to you that this is what I want, or pictures of, or like a mood board of like, okay, you guys have agreed on something, right? And the client is telling you that it can happen, or it will everly happen, that this job is not up to par to what I expect. And once you yourself, once him is the one that sent you the sample video, what we'll do in that regard is that we are insured to be able to like sort out some that kind of damages. And that is if both parties are like, if there is no other headway to it. But what we always ask, that's why this dispute resolution panel is being set up, is that the client and the this have to come on the clients and the photographer have to come together and let's find a lasting solution to their problem. We will have lawyers sitting down to do that. So we also have escrow system that is going to protect your money. So the client is not like, the client doesn't have access to that money. We have access to that money. The money is being held on an escrow system. That means the money is now safe in a wallet. So once you are delivered your job, and once after we deliberate on the matter and find out that the photographer actually executed the job, you actually get your money. It's as simple as that. So some of the things that the insurance company I was talking about can do for you is that they are going to be able to insure your tools too. But this is something that we are still working on, and we're going to perfect it. So tools, I mean equipment, that's photography equipment and all. So yeah, that's it for me. So without further ado and without any more questions, I think, okay, I saw a question. I'm a photographer and I had a problem like that once, and everyone in the client's family loved the pictures quality, but the client still said she didn't like it. And that's what I'm saying. If this kind of thing happen, you actually win the case and you get your money. It's saving an escrow system on Peexoo. All right, I think that brings the end to our session. So I want to say a very big thank you to everybody that are here. I want to first thank the Peexoo team. You guys have been tremendous. You guys have been amazing. Fade, Lucio, Fortress, Habib, Richard, everybody in Peexoo, you guys have been tremendous. And for me, this is our first virtual event. There's going to be much more events coming up, and we are going to be able to, we're going to organize a lot of events for you guys, webinars, physical events, when after that's post-COVID. So, and what we are starting to do is that we are starting to support photographers. That's like our core job. We are here to support you guys. We are like the, what should I call it now? The genie. You make your wish, I will make it come. You say your wish, I will make it, and we'll make it come true. So we are going to be working so much with we're going to be working so much with you guys, and we're going to be working so much with some of these brands and top photographers in the industry, and we're going to be able to bombard you guys with a lot of knowledge and a lot of learning. Thank you, guys. So someone asked, please kindly help remind Dr. Kadiri to send the link to a copy of our. Don't worry, we are going to follow up on you guys. We'll follow up. We are going to follow up so much, right? So we are going to get the presentation. We're going to get the summary of this event. Anything that you want, you're going to get access to it.